That's good. That was good, Jason. Oh, here I am with Jameson Farn, who is an absolute master at organizing holidays, particular types of holidays, and also is an expert in the luxury property market, which I find absolutely fascinating. But first off, let's say good morning to Jameson. Good morning.
Hello, Mike. How are you, Mike?
I'm super good, and I hope you are too.
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking just before we came on air about the summer. And how was your summer? Was it busy?
Yeah, it was busy, but it wasn't chaotic like the last couple of summers where everybody was coming out of COVID and rushing to see and do everything. This summer seemed a lot easier to manage and calmer, and people seemed even a little bit more relaxed. So it was really nice. I feel like I actually even got a summer, so that was good. Got to hit the beach a bit more than usual, so that was good.
Oh, so business was swift, but not oppressive.
No, like I'm used to busy anyway, but it seems just a lot nicer, like even keel. It kind of feels even more before COVID hit, just how it always used to be in a sense.
Mhm.
So I knew what to expect in a sense.
Oh, that's brilliant. Have people changed their expectations? Are they more relaxed, laid back about what they do?
I found the last two summers people were a bit more entitled and
Oh,
they wanted everything, but their budget may not allow for it, but they were kind of almost demanding it. But this year they seem more realistic about what they can get. They want to know what they can get. Um, but a lot of people have booked, like typically people book, say, a villa rental 6 months to even a year ahead to get the good stuff. So, and there's better selection and all that. So people were doing that in March and April. So you just kind of let that set in. People come as they and go as they do when everything's scheduled. Um, but yeah, and people just seemed very happy to be here. Most of my clients are from North America, and since I'm Canadian, I had more Canadians than usual, which is always nice. But the Americans too, they were just looking for a safe place, is what they've told me, and apologizing to me for being American. And it's like, well, no, no, no. Like, we know what it's about. So you just do your thing, and I'm glad you're here, type of thing. So it was good.
that's intriguing. That really is intriguing.
Yeah.
You were mentioning about over tourism. Have you experienced that?
Not me personally, but like if there's people that, as Village is busy practically year round now, you go by the bus stop and train station early in the morning, there'll easily be 20 to 40 people waiting for the bus to go up there. So I always just warn clients, like instead of waiting for a bus or something, like just take an Uber, like right to the top. And I always tell them don't drive. And I always tell them to go in the morning if you can, or even the late afternoon is maybe not too bad. But yeah, I try to avoid that. So I just try to tell them places to avoid so that they have a better experience. They can go there, but just expect this if you go there type of deal. So but and also I've written a lot of articles about over tourism and stuff. So I try to tell people don't cram too many things in whatever amount of time you have. The good thing about travel is you can always come back, and there's always something to see and do here up and down the coastline. So, I if they're not sure of their itinerary, I will work through it with them. But most of the people, especially with luxury villa rentals, they know if they've been here before, they know the program. So they're happy to do what they want to do. I only get weird things with like villa rentals where people will be like, they'll call me up in the morning asking me, when will the clouds move away from the pool area? That kind of thing. Or I had clients this summer that wanted to know where they could have their own private beach around Villefranche, but it had to be private. Nobody overlooking, nobody else going to be on it, but it's special for them. And it's like, well, that's not going to happen. And us locals know of some little private beaches and stuff, but it's like, we're not going to give away the secrets, like. So,
That's curious.
yeah.
And
I think people just want to live out their dreams. So it's like they have such high, expectations and stuff. And it is wonderful once you're here, but I think they want to build upon that. It's like, but you got to be realistic. I'm always telling people to be realistic.
now another aspect to your life, of course, is the property business itself.
Yes.
And I'm super intrigued about that. So, first of all, has pricing kept pace or has the property market eased in any way when it comes to luxury villas?
It seems to stay the same right now from what I see. If something is around the 1 million, 2 million mark, there might be a decrease depending on how long it's been on the market or, the eagerness of the owner that wants to sell. The thing is too, I have a lot of American customers and or clients that they are coming here like right now. Like even this weekend was crazy. I had somebody booked last week. They wanted to see penthouses in Cannes around the 5 million mark. So
Oh,
that was what my weekend was dealing with that. And then I also had clients from Florida that saw another podcast I was on and they want to retire here. We had a 10 o'clock meeting last night and I showed them, some places that I was out and about, showed them videos of places from the outside to just kind of guide them. I get a lot of Americans that are wanting to come here for second homes or just to retire or just to completely move away. They see the writing on the wall right now in the States. It's very sad. So but they feel very safe and secure as soon as they land here. They said they can feel like they can breathe again.
well, there's
So,
a lot of issues though with property taxes in the States and condominium fees.
yes,
It's not the same here. Uh,
no. And if you declare your home as your second home, that's a whole different, situation for yourself too. So, but the number one thing is a lot of people say from North America, they assume that if they buy a property here, they can automatically get citizenship. And it's like, oh no, that doesn't work. It doesn't work in the States. So why would it? So you just have to explain to them that they have to figure out what kind of visa works for them if they don't have an EU passport and all of that. Just really what works for their lifestyle. There's a lot of questions. It can sometimes feel like a lot of hand holding, but I always just try to tell them, don't overwhelm yourself, evolve with everything, go for the basics and just build from there because you think you're going to be able to skip some steps, but it's just really going to maybe hold you back. You know how life can be down here. So
yeah.
it's more laid back here. So just relax and know what you really want. I always tell people even to rent in an area first because there's people that I've seen who will have bought in, say, Cap d'Antibes, and it turned out they prefer Mougins because they need to be near the international school with their children type of deal. So it's worked out.
So what's the general age group? It sounds like an awful widespread.
Yeah, like I'm seeing not a lot of 20-year-olds, of course, but
Hmm.
late 30s for sure, like 35 and up.
Really?
Yeah, 35 to because they want to know if they can build a new life and they're just a lot of them are like this always been my dream. I've got one life, so I want to try to make it happen at least. So they want to go for it and I think maybe they just feel this is the time. So it's beautiful here. Every day is wonderful to me. So um
It's true.
yeah. Yeah. It's just there's always something to do. Like there's always something to strive for and if you're it's such an international, area with people, like international group of people. If you want to network, this is the place to do it. So
Uh,
yeah,
very
there's
true.
always something going on, I find.
Very, very true. There are a lot of groups and things people can join into that
Exactly.
fit their needs. So when they're looking at villas, has there been a change in what sort of villa people are looking at? Because we have several types of villa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Not so much the Bella Polk. I think people are more, they want more contemporary, especially like Americans want to feel, not all of them, I'm kind of generalizing, but they want to feel like they're at home, but they're in France. They sometimes even want their interiors to look like it does back home. You know how we have American kitchens here in properties, and that's a good selling point too for them, because then it makes them feel comfortable. But they like knowing that they can go outside, and if they want to go to Italy for the day, it's close by, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's nothing really. I'd say the going price, people are looking for million and up, like easily 10 million too. So, but seem to be the higher end for me in the past few months has been more around the 5 million mark. So, yeah.
so are these people willing to drive into town, into their villages, or do
Yeah.
they still want to walk?
Yeah, that's another thing I've had to kind of school some people on too. They kind of think they can get a house right at the beach and the stores will be right next door and everything's going to be like within 2 minutes. And it's like, well, it's kind of not like that unless you have big money. And even if you have big money, you're not going to have the stores like a minute away type thing. So, but once I tell them, walking's it's healthy here. That's why the older people look like they're in such good shape. They go swimming all the time, stuff like that. It's about your lifestyle. And if you want to really change it, this might be part of it. So, but with villas, they usually have a car and everything. But they just, so they're starting to see that kind of lifestyle we have here that's a bit healthier and the reasons behind it. It just might take some effort at first, but yeah, they seem to be okay. I don't know. It's new to them. So, but once they get out there, they're fine.
Do you ever look into the Monaco property market? Is
Yeah,
that
I've got some properties there with partners too. So I think it's been a little bit quiet for Monaco right now, but there's such a high demand for rentals there too. So I'm seeing the pricing is, it's Monaco. It's going to be staying the same because of demand. So, but I've talked to a couple other agents and they are thinking it's quiet right now. But also what happens this time of year, in my experience, is people will come here on vacations or whatever with their families. And if it's their first time or fifth time, if they decide to move here, they'll go back home, get the kids back in school or whatever, and then they'll make a separate trip out here and just I always tell them this, September, like even the winter is the best time to come. You get to socialize with the locals more, not so much among tourists, and
Hmm.
you get to see what life is really like off season, and they're all for that. And we have sunshine 300 days a year anyway, so it's great. And I have, yeah, the couple I was speaking to last night from Florida, they're coming here on January 19th for 2 weeks, and they want to hit the ground running. They want to get a property while they're here, so they want out.
Well, the situation politically in France is not exactly the most stable.
No,
Does it
but they're
bother
thinking it is
you?
compared to the
Oh,
United
I
States right now.
see. We're not
So
comparing apples with apples then.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what they like too is that they like knowing that, if they want to go to a week for a weekend in Rome, they can hop on a cheap flight and go.
Ooh.
It's that kind of thing. Whereas, the States and Canada is so big, it's so like it takes more effort and I hear prices are just going up and everything. So they want to feel like they have a lifestyle. So, maybe it's part of being the COVID thing too, that they really just want to live now. So I
Well,
don't
they
know.
get that here, don't they? They get a great lifestyle.
Oh yeah. Like I think even, I've been through hard times here but it built more character for me. Like, and I learned a lot more about myself and it built my confidence too. So it's like, I'm grateful for even the hard times I've had here, so I wouldn't switch it for anything. And it tells me to maybe expect more and to deal with it better than I did before, whatever, and not to panic or anything, just roll with it all. So I just try to evolve with everything now.
Do you ever get into Italy? Do you ever look at that property market down to Rapallo and places like that?
Not so much. I don't have like I used to have a lot of call for Spain, but that has kind of gone by the wayside. And I've been focusing more on just France. I used to kind of do a bit of Greece, a bit of whatever. I have villas in all those places to rent, but I think because I'm here and I have kind of a reputation here, I guess. Um, like I would prefer to just promote the region here right now. So it just makes me happiest. I know it very well. So I'm obsessed with the area. I'm obsessed with real estate. It's crazy.
I know that. So when you're looking at a villa, are people willing to furnish it themselves, or do they get somebody in to do the design? How does that work?
They will ask a lot about that, but most of the villas that they're seeing are already furnished. So that can be part of the deal if they want to buy it. A lot of owners I meet are willing to just leave the furniture as part of the deal. So North Americans will ask me, well, I might need this or whatever. And I tell them, don't be bringing over a lot of stuff because even say with electrical outlets and that, it will be different. So you can get very competitive prices here for say any electrical items that you need. And it's part of, why pay for all that shipping and stuff for stuff that you can buy here? And if you're To me, if you're building a new life here, rip off that Band-Aid and get here.
I agree with you. Let's talk about the sensitive issues of cars. Are people looking at electric or are they sticking with diesel?
I haven't had much of that actually with cars at all. They know about the electric cars and stuff. They think it's fantastic. They wonder how much power they have. And I said, people whip around in them really quickly here. Like it's great for doing errands and stuff. So, yeah, I got people that will want to ship their car over. And you can't really do that because you have to have it, what's it called, registered within a year to the European standards. And that's so expensive, you might as well buy a new car. So they didn't realize that either. So it's part of letting go.
So the education, once they've been here, what is your experience? Do you get any feedback on people having their kids at the international schools? Are they as good as the American schools or just different?
They find the few families I've had, they find that the schools here feel more secure. They're gated and everything.
Yeah.
So they don't have school shootings to worry about, like with what happened a week or so ago in the States. So there's more protection. They want their students or they want their children to have a very international upbringing so that they can, expand their horizons. I have a friend from Canada. Her daughter is going to school in Montagne. She's just starting her second year. And she met so many people from like Greece, Italy, Norway within the first week, and they're good friends. They hook in really quick. And she loves it. Like she cannot get over how much she can see and do here and the people she's meeting and how that's going to help her career in the future because the more it's all who you know and everything for networking and stuff. So and they take to the language very quickly, easier than adults in many senses. But I have a lot of adults too that will they're eager to take maybe morning classes to start submersing themselves into the language, or they'll go to the school in Villefranche and just do a full, you know, gung ho class for a whole month. So I wish I had time for that.
I know that feeling, but that's intriguing. So they really do want to immerse themselves in being French.
Yeah,
That's awfully difficult to do in places like Nice.
yeah. They seem to be I don't know. I've never heard them, get upset about how they're treated here. They find that they get treated very well, and I always tell them, come with manners and be polite to everybody, and you will get that right back. So, and don't expect the lifestyle that we are used to in North America, where everything's like, instant gratification, go into a 7-Eleven store and get what you want and leave. You've got to slow down a little bit. And even if you hear no at first, that doesn't mean it stops. It means that you can build upon what you really want and, work towards. So sometimes, with French, they need to be talked into a yes type of thing. But I've never found it to really be an issue. So mm, I don't know. I think people are they're good about everything. They just want to learn more about the area and stuff. They want to bring their knowledge of their experience too, and they want to work with people that are innovative and entrepreneurial. And it's very entrepreneurial here. So to me, that's a perfect place. So, and even Monaco's got a small tech industry and stuff like that too. So they can get involved in that.
Yeah. Oh, that's fascinating. Now, the hand holding doesn't stop at sale, does it?
No,
You can
no.
go on.
Yeah, I just like, you can have there's those hand holding companies, but I'm always very weary of them because they're not technically registered here and you don't know what you're getting and stuff. I don't charge for that. I just, I'd rather build a business relationship and then if they tell their friends, hey, you should move here, they usually, introduce me, that kind of thing. Um, I just find the first couple of conversations with them they're kind of all over the map and they have a million questions. And so I always tell them to take notes. I'm not perfect. I'm not an expert maybe, but I'll answer the best of my knowledge and to use what's called like just we have the internet. I'm going to fix my thing here. So yeah, just use the internet and take some things with a grain of salt. Ask the locals. I always tell people, even if you're traveling here, don't be looking at influencers online that are somewhere for 2 days and figure they have all the answers of secret places and gems. such crap. So just, I always tell them, ask a local. That's where you'll get the real information, whether it's good or bad. So,
Ah, that was brilliant insight. Thank you, Jameson. And well, I think we've come to the end of our little chat today, and
okay,
I'll post your links and everything else, and I'll do an article
thank you.
expanding on some of the subjects, and just really need to say thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's always fascinating, and I always get something new out of it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mike. It was great to talk to you.
So we'll leave ourselves with huge smiles while I try and find the off button.
Okay.